You know what they say about miracles? They're not as miraculous as everybody thinks they are. If in a video game, luck is pretty much described as RNG, then the IRL counterpart of that is quite literally the word miracle, which just happened to be the exact universe where said miracle happened. I don't make the rules. Error. Cannot find a way to joke about miracles. Searching the browser machine for jokes. Let's see. Why did the miracle apply for a job? It wanted to work wonders. How does a miracle apologize? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be so unbelievable. What did the grape say after witnessing a miracle? Winder. Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask is the 5th installment in the Professor Layton series and the first game that launched on 3DS, meaning that the series practically transitioned to 3D. How the fuck did Professor Layton have a better 3D game for its first outing in comparison to Ace Attorney? Ace Attorney had a rough transition to 3D. Quite a miracle that Layton looks as good as he does. I mean, it took some time getting used to, but honestly, they actually nailed these designs. Layton himself looks a bit chubby around his face, but other than that, he's pretty pristine. Luke is adorable, Amy got a great glow up, still wondering what does she contribute to these games. But to be honest, I prefer the 2D drawings, they felt more expressive to me than these 3D models. So you know how the other Professor Layton games had a prologue or just a little intro that basically served as exposition for what you're about to experience? Not this one, they just throw you right into it. I would have been somewhat fine with this if you didn't show the cutscene of Layton receiving the letter that basically tells us what the game is all about. Like, you couldn't put this one at the start? It feels like they forgot to write an intro and they just sloppily inserted this one scene here. So basically, the entire plot is this dude named the Masked Gentleman performs miracles in the city of Montidor, also titled as the City of Miracles, basically illusions to screw up with someone specific. And we have to find out how those illusions were performed and who the Masked Gentleman is. This is also a story where we have a present perspective but also a past perspective. Each chapter jumps back and forth between the then and the now. In the present, it's all the Masked Gentleman shenanigans, and in the past, it is Layton himself recounting the events that led to his best friend pal Randall Ascott's death. I am mixed on all of this. Let's start with the past. For the most part, not a whole lot of stuff happens in the past. Yes, we get introduced to the characters we're about to meet in the present, and Layton with an afro, but a lot of this is just a bunch of fluff in retrospect. I feel like much of this could have been condensed, like going all the way till the Norwell wall or whatever shouldn't have taken as long as it does. The whole scene where Angela cries at the thought of Randall going on an expedition because it reminds her of her brother who left and never came back, only for this asshole to kind of brush her off. Please, Angela, I need to inject that archaeology juice in my veins. Probably my favorite part of the entire past charade is chapter 6, where the game goes, man, I don't give a fuck, and just becomes a dungeon crawler. A pretty basic dungeon crawler, but a dungeon crawler nonetheless. I find this kinda cute. It's also my vote for best chapter in the game purely for the gameplay, even if I had some moments where I was actually kinda stupid. It was not even the game's fault, it was just dumb. I was just dumb. For the most part, all you do is explore the ruins of Akbadain, where you encounter mummy chambers that are basically puzzles where you have to not get caught by the mummies, and the puzzle chambers, which are puzzles, obvious. Lots of pushing boulders. I really like this gameplay loop. It was unusual, but it was kind of fun playing through this. And they even sprinkled some puzzles here and there. Especially a most interesting puzzle in the form of tilting your Nintendo 3DS. Yeah, so I was quite concerned if I was even able to do this one because I looked through the Citra emulator and there was nothing that said about emulating tilt controls or gyro shit or something like that. Turns out I had to right click and move my mouse in 4 directions. I guess it's true, you learn something new every day. Thanks, random Reddit user, for bestowing me with this knowledge. See, Reddit isn't that bad, guys. Also, can I just say I barely reacted to Randall's death simply because it's someone falling off a pit. I've been shown time and time again that just because a character falls down a giant pit doesn't mean anything. Their ass is not dead, no way, no how. And that's pretty much everything from the past. it's fine. The present, okay, I feel like they were dragging these present chapters just a bit, yet I also feel like they were rushing through many of its things that it was doing, like the illusions, for example. For some of them, you do think about them, but the solutions make you go, that's it? Makes one wonder why the police officers couldn't, figure these out on their own. They fucking suck ass. And then, for others, you're not even giving a chance to think about them, like, at all. Like, that one illusion where people went flying into the stratosphere and just disappeared. I'm sorry, what do you mean they just got engulfed in some coats that are conveniently colored like the night sky? Oh, and the masked gentleman casually walking in the air as if he was Jesus Christ, except instead of water, it's oxygen. Yeah, he used some rope and he walked on that. Bro, how wide this rope is and how sturdy it is, I refuse to believe that's true. How about another example? When you go to Tinkley Tower, there's this small fairgrounds area where, everyone's having a jolly good time, yay! And then the masked gentleman shit happens, and suddenly everyone at the fairgrounds disappeared? Yeah, so you see, while inside the tower, the dude moved your positions, and so that you exited outside through a different door that led to the exact same area as the fairgrounds, except no one was there because, you were in a different area that had an exact replica of the fairgrounds. Okay, never mind the fact that I couldn't have known any of this, so it just looks like Layton activated his third eye or something, but couldn't they hear the sound of the people from afar? Like, this shit doesn't seem that far away. And as for the final portion of the game, where the evil fucked up hamburger mastermind is revealed as Randall Ascot, big shocker, I know, I do think the game did a great job at misdirection for the most part by making Henry Ledore seem like the mastermind behind all of this. There's plenty of things that point to Henry being the dude. Turns out he was just being set up. I mean, to be fair, the second I saw Randall's death scene, I was like, it's Randall. Randall is the masked gentleman. And I was right. Then Randall proceeds to do nothing for like 15 minutes. His plan was to bury the city in sand, and the sand is just non-existent during this climactic bit. Like, actually, there's no sense of urgency. With the other games, you can feel a sense of urgency and rush during the climactic bits. In Pandora's Box, there was this sense of rush trying to, escape the castle because, God help us, Anton might have been a vampire. In Lost Future, I mean, a war criminal 16-year-old piloting whatever this shit is should speak for itself. Hell, even last game we had Descole destroying the city of Mist Hollery in the background. Aside from Curious Village, now that I think about it, Curious Village real success in retrospect, first game syndrome strikes again. Miracle Mask doesn't really make me a bit worried about the city or its inhabitants. There's no sand slowly filling up in the background with, maybe some people being buried inside and some other people trying to get them out. They just look really fucking normal and really empty. It's crazy that with this new technology, they fill these streets and backgrounds with lots of NPCs you can interact with to make the world, I guess, feel a bit more alive, I presume. And yet, it's dead as fuck during this final bit. It would have been cool to see my idea to life. It would definitely make this much better. Maybe, I think, I don't know. The difficulty is also fucked for the puzzles. I remember in Lost Future, the final batch of puzzles were so astronomically complex, it felt like I needed 5 PhDs to even begin to understand what they wanted me to do. No such hard puzzles here. And you know what? I don't even get what was Randall's plan here. Like, I get it, you wanted revenge. But after the deed was done, what now? Not even an attempt at claiming the city as your own? There is one plot twist that left me a little befuddled, and that is Descole cosplaying as Angela. Okay, how the fuck? Listen, we live in a world where Don Pollock can disguise as anybody, but at least he disguises as man. Descole pretends to act like Angela, a woman, here. Sorry, but I don't believe that. Oh hey, there's the impossible explanation that I thought was missing in my Layton video game. Also, can I just say, Descole suffers massive aura loss in the final cutscene to this one jackass that shows up in one cutscene near the end of the game that's not even relevant to like anything, and an optional cutscene in the episodes tab from the trunk. They really do hammer in the point that this game is setting up the last game in the prequel trilogy, the Azran Legacy. I'll get back to you after like 2 games, so give me a minute. Out of every location in every Layton game, Montedor is one I find unbelievable. I just cannot think of this city as something that could exist in England. If anything, this can fit in America pretty easily, and I wouldn't bat an eye. At least the other locations are convincing enough that, yes, I can find these locations in England to make sense. Yes, even a fake replica of London from 10 years in the future that's buried underground. I still don't get how that even works, bro. I haven't mentioned much about the puzzles because, quite frankly, they're fine, they work, they're okay. That's all I can say, really. Hey, so I forgot to mention about the mini game. games in my script, so I'm just gonna shove this little segment right in here. There's one mini game where you control a robot, and the robot can only move like 3 spaces on the grid at a time. And oh, this might be like their best fucking minigame ever. Like, honestly, I really like it. It's very, very puzzly. I like the music. Presentation is cute. Good stuff. And the other one is like, so basically there's like, you open the shop and you need to get the customer to like buy you everything. You know, make them be an irresponsible person financially. Ooh, it's like, okay. And you just have to put like the items in like specific places on the shelf, so that the way the customer will look, I guess, at the items will like, oh, okay, I'll buy this because I wanted to buy. Oh, wait a minute, is this like the same color? I like me some red. Give me the red. Oh, wait a minute, that's literally like the same thing except it's a different color. Give me that. It's cute, it's charming, but like, didn't really like it as much. I thought it was like, it's fine, I guess. And then the final one is, basically, level 5 thought to themselves, you know, what if we made Nintendogs, but it's a bunny? Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask is just a fine enough game. I didn't hate it, but it did not blow my mind. The beginning felt a bit rushed to get to the meat and potatoes of the game. The middle section was pretty boring, but this is a bit of a common problem with that, you know, Layton suffers from. And the ending was quite predictable in not a fun way in its twists, with the exception of the elephant in the room. See, I think I know something that could have made this game a 10 out of 10 Metacritic, IGN, Masterpiece Hamburger, Bussy, Crusty, Musty, Toasty game. A sword fight scene. It did not have peak action sequence that, you know, even though this game also showcases where Layton got his amazing sword wielding skills. Missed opportunity, guys. 0 out of 10, no sword fighting scene. Hell, you could have had a sword fighting scene between Layton and Randall, you know, they used to do that a lot back in the day. That could have been a cool thing, you know, bring it around town, huh? This is why Pandora's Box is the best game of the series and why Eternal Diva shits on everything Layton related. Yes, I watched the Layton animated movie. I loved it. It was peak. I don't really got much to say about the Miracle Mask. It was a fun enough game, but not something that's memorable. It's better than Curious Village, so congratulations, but I mean, everything is better than Curious Village. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to play the video game equivalent of Miss Potential. And then, soon after that, shall follow Disappointment. Yes, I will play Layton Brothers Mystery Room. You know, that one mobile game. I'll see what I can do. If I can record properly, so you know, it works fine, blah blah blah. That's it. In the meantime, if you enjoyed the video, then please like and subscribe to the channel. Have a nice day.